Okay, we've done a lot of work with all these expressions from 3.1 to 3.4, and this is the Chapter 3 review. And before you look at this, you should probably have most of it completed. You could double check your answers. I might solve things differently than you do, and that's okay. I just thought maybe you'd like something to help you study, review, mentally rehearse, go through to make sure you're understanding and solving the problems correctly. But remember, your way might be different than my way, and that's okay, but it's still just here's another way to look at these problems. So let's go for it. All right, here we go. We're simplifying and putting everything in standard form. I notice this problem right away. I see the parentheses, and as soon as you see that, you just start thinking distribute. This -2. -2 times x is -2x. Bring down the plus. -2 times 1 is -2. And that would be your simplified expression. And some of these you should be going pretty quickly through like this, and some of them you're going to take a little bit more time, and that's okay. All right, number 2. -3 times 2 is -6x. Bring down the plus. -3 times 5 is -15. Now you might notice that there's 2 signs in a row right there. So a more simplified way to write this would be -6x minus 15. That will also work in a simplified standard form. But both of these are right. Both this one and this one are correct. All right, here we go. -3 times 4 is -12a. Bring down the plus. -3 times 9 is -27b. So this one's a little bit different because now we have an a and a b. Just make sure you just follow your steps and distribute the 3 to both pieces or both terms. Okay. -7 times 2, -14k. Bring down your negative sign. -7 times h is going to be a -7h. Now, here you would notice the double negatives. -14k, that turns into plus 7h. Okay? You could also look at it as -7 times 2 is -14k, and -7 times a -h, negative times a negative would be a positive 7h. So either way, that is the correct expression. You might bring down your sign and see the double negative, or you might think of this as a -h. Okay, I hope I didn't confuse you on that, but let's keep moving on here. If you have any questions, seriously, come and see me. We'll talk about it. 3 times 2, 6y. Bring down the plus. 3 times 1 is 3. You might think you have to go 3 times 4, but no, we don't do 3 times 4 there, because you only distribute this 3 to what is next to it in the parentheses. So now you just write down plus 4. Can we simplify? Well, that 6y can't go with anything, so that stays. But 3 plus 4 can be simplified into plus 7, because 3 plus 4 is 7, and that would be your final simplified expression. Isn't this fun? We're really starting to look at this algebra stuff here. Okay, same thing. This 3 can go to the 2 and the 5, but not to the 8. Don't do that. It only goes to what is in the parentheses there. This is separate over here. This is separate. Okay, so 3 times 2 is 6a. Bring down the plus. 3 times 5 is 15, and then write down the minus 8. What can be combined? Can 6a go with anything? No. So the 6a stays. 15 minus 8, which is 7, a positive 7. So this is our final simplified expression. Here we go again. We have one of those that are trying to... remember, this 2 only goes with what's in that parentheses right there. 2 times x is 2x. Bring down the plus. 2 times 2 is 4. Now I have a plus and a 3x. Sometimes you'll hear a math teacher say undo the parentheses, and that means get rid of those parentheses. Okay, so now I see this 2x can be combined with this 3x, which would give me 5. Oh, you can't see that. Hold on. That would give me 5x. Oh, that's sloppy. Sorry. 5x. This 4 cannot be combined with anything, so that would be plus 4. Look at, we're doing this fast. This is only taking us 6 minutes. All right, here we go. 6, oh, I can't see that. 6, can't, I'm gonna do this, yellow. 6 times b is 6b. Bring down the plus. 6 times 3, 18, minus 2b. I can combine the 6b minus 2b. Remember to take that sign in front. 6 minus 2, 4b. 18 can't be combined with anything. So 18, it's a constant, cannot be combined. There you go. All right, look at that. Finish that first page. Let's go to the next page. Ooh, fractions. We're not afraid of these fractions. We can do these. Now, you can use your calculator if you're allowed to, or we can figure it out. 1/4 times 4. So I'm going to do my work down here. 1/4 times 4 over 1 equals 4 over 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. So that's going to be 1x. Bring down the plus. 1/4 times 8. 1/4 times 8 over 1. That's going to be 8 over 4. 8 divided by 4 is 2. So this will be a 2. Final, I can leave that 1 off. So x plus 2. Final simplified expression. Okay. 1/3 times 6. 1/3 times 6 over 1. That's going to give me 6 over 3. 6 divided by 3 is 2. So that's going to give me 2c. Bring down the plus. 1/3 times 9. 1/3 times 9 over 1. That's going to be 9 over 3. 9 divided by 3 is 3. So this will be a 3. Final simplified expression. Ooh, 2/3. Here we go. 2/3 times 4. 2/3 times 4 over 1. 8 over 3. I'm going to leave it like that. Algebra people like to have them in MN form. So 8 over 3k. Bring down the minus sign or the negative sign. 2/3 times 6. 2/3 times 6 over 1. That's 12 over 3. This one I can divide. 12 divided by 3 is 4. So that'd be 4. That would be my final answer right there. Here we go. Negative 1/2 times 6. Now I have a negative times a negative. So this first activity here, or first calculation, is going to be a positive answer. So I'm going to do 1/2 times 6 over 1. 6 over 2, divide that, that's 3. So this could be a positive 3x. I don't have to put that positive sign there, but I can if I want to, just to remember that it's positive. Okay, so let's put that, let's put the x there. Okay, negative 1/2 times, I'm going to call that a negative 1/3. A negative times a negative is going to be a positive. 1/2 times 1/3 is going to equal 1/6. So now when I go back and rewrite it, I don't have to put this sign here. So 3x plus 1/6. Final simplified answer. Decimals. 3 times 4 is 12x plus, plus 3 times 0.2. 0.2 times 3. Multiply like normal. It's going to be 6. There's one spot after the decimal, so move it over one spot. So that will be 0.6. So final answer, 12x plus 0.6, or 6/10. All right, here we go. More decimals. 0.6 times 3. I'll do that down here. That'll give me 18. 3 is 0 plus 1, 3. Okay. One spot after the decimal, right there. So I'm going to have 1.8h plus 0.6 times 5. 0.6 times 5 is going to be 30. There is a one spot after the decimal. Move it over 1. That would be 3.0. So final answer, 1.8h plus, that's basically 3. Final simplified answer. Okay, here we go. Ooh, double parts. Remember, this 0.2 only goes with that parentheses. You have to leave this. This is not part of the distributing, okay? Okay. Zero 0.2 times m is 0.2m. 0.2 times 3, that's where I got to do my work. 0.2 times 3 is 6. There's a one spot after the decimal, move it over. 0.6 plus 0.8m. Hi, kitty. Okay, so now I'm going to put the 0.2m with this 0.8. When you have decimals, of course you can. 0.8 Hi, kitty, hi. Yeah, say hi, say hi. You're so cute, say hi. Say hi. All right, 0.2. Line up your decimals, 0.8. That's 10, 1.0. So that'll be 1.0 m minus 0.6. 1.0 is the same as 1 m minus 0.6. So that would be right. This would be right, but the best way would be m. You could write that as just m minus 0.6. That would also be right. Okay, last one. Oh, this is just decimals and distribution. 1.2 times 0.3. 1.2 times 0.3. Multiply like normal. 6, 3. I don't have to multiply that out because it's 0. There's 1, 2 spots after the decimal. 1, 2. So that is going to be 0.36x, and 1.2 times 1.4, bring down the minus. That'll be 1.2 times 1.4. That's 8. 4, done with that, bring down a 0. 2, 1, 8, 6, 1. 1, 2 spots after the decimal, 1, 2. So that'll be 1.68. Now, if you're using a calculator, which is fine, then you don't have to do all that math. All right, done with that page. Nice. Next page. Okay. I see parentheses. I see the 6 that goes with it. And then this here, this piece is extra. So let's start with the parentheses first. That's order of operations. So here we go. 6 times 3, 18y, plus 6 times x, 6x, and then over here I have a 4x plus. Okay, let's take that 4x and put it with the plus 6x. That would give us 10x. This can't combine with anything else, so plus 18y, and my x and my y are in alphabetical order, so that is the correct simplified expression in standard form. All right, again, I see another parentheses right here. I got to start there with that piece. So 5 times v is, I can't see that either. Let's go with this. Is 5v. Bring down the minus. 5 times g is 5g. There's my plus and my 8g over here. 8g minus 5g is 3g. This is by itself, cannot be combined with anything else. So that's my final simplified expression. Ooh, 2 sets of parentheses. Okay, well this one has to be done first because there's a 2 on the outside, so let's do that first. 2 times a, 2a, plus 2 times 2, 4b. So now those parentheses are gone. Just bring down this plus, and there's really nothing else to do, so these could go away. Okay, So now 2a plus a is 3a. 4b plus 3b is 7b. Now if you're wondering how I could get rid of those parentheses, I could put an imaginary 1 in front here. 1 times a is a, and 1 times 3b is 3b. That's how you get rid of those parentheses. Okay, next. Double parentheses and distribution. Woohoo! 3 times m, 3m, minus 3 times 2, 6n. I'm going to bring this plus down because I have to do this distribution. 6n, bring down the minus, 12m. Alright, 3m can combine with 12, a negative 12, a positive, and a negative. I can't just add them. Don't just start adding those up. Think. You got a negative 12, positive 3. I can't add them. I have to subtract. That will give me 9m, but there's more negative, so it's going to be a negative 9m. And then look at this, negative 6n and a positive 6n. Negative 6 plus 6 cancel out. So this right here is now my final simplified expression. It's so cool. Look at all this. Went from all these numbers here, right here, to just this piece right there. Okay. Ooh. Double parentheses and negative signs. Woohoo! All right. 4 times d, 4d. Bring down the plus. 4 times e, 4e. Negative 3 times d, negative 3d. Negative 3 times negative 2 is going to be a positive 6e. See how I did that? And the negative times a negative is a positive. Now I could combine 4d minus 3d, 1d. 4e plus 6e, positive 10e. I don't really have to write that 1 with the d, so it could be d plus 10e as your final simplified expression. This would be right. That's correct too, but that's even more simplified. One more here. Here we go, number 22. 3 times 3, 9y. Bring down that minus sign. 3 times x, 3x. Now this looks silly. This is really a negative 1. If you don't see a number there, then you can put a 1 there. So now I have negative 1 times y is negative 1y. Negative 1 times negative 6 is going to be a positive 6x. Now, 9y minus a y is going to be 8y. Negative 3x plus 6x, I can't just add those together, so I have to subtract them because they're opposite signs. A negative 3, positive 6, which would give me a 3x, a positive 3x. And that would be the final simplified expression. I want you to look back at this piece right here. Look back at that, and you could also think of it like this. You could say the opposite, negative means the opposite of everything that's in here. Okay? So the opposite of y is negative y. The opposite of a negative is a positive 6x. And that's how I got this piece right there. The opposite of this is negative y plus 6x. All right, is that it? No, one more page to go. All right, here we go. Negative 4 times x is negative 4x. Bring down the plus. Negative 4 times 3 is negative 12y. 3 times 2 is positive, that's hard to see, positive 6x. 3 times, you could bring down that minus side. 3 times 5, 15y. I'm going to rewrite all that down now so I can see it. I got negative 4x plus negative 12y plus 6x minus 15y. Negative 4x plus 6x, I have to subtract them because they're opposite signs. That'll give me a 2x. Shh. Negative 12y, negative 15. Those are the same signs, so I could add those together. That'll give me 27y, and they're both negative, so it's going to be negative. So this is my final simplified standard form expression.
Nice, Mom.
Thanks, Corinne. All right, here we go. Ooh. Parentheses and negatives. Good times.
Bad times, good times.
Thanks, Corinne. All right. Shh. Negative 7 times y. Negative 7y. Bring down the plus. Negative 7 times 2a is going to be a negative 14a. Okay. Negative 3 times y. Negative 3y. Negative 3 times negative a is going to be a positive 3a, because a negative times a negative is a positive. And I could bring down the y, but I don't like to bring it down when I have to multiply negatives, when I start work with more negatives. So I just think of this as a negative 3 and a negative a, which gives me a positive 3a. Okay, now I can combine negative 7y minus 3y, that's negative and more negative, negative 10y. Negative 14a plus 3a is, I can't add those, I have to subtract them. It's going to be negative 11a. Final simplified answer. I hope I'm doing these right. I feel like I am. All right, here we go. Okay. 8 times 3, 24a, plus 8 times b, 8b. Oh, here's that negative sign. That negative times the opposite of everything in here. The opposite of 2a is negative 2a. The opposite of the negative is a positive b. Or let's look at it like this. Ready? Negative 1 times 2 is negative 2a. Negative 1 times a negative is a positive b. So same thing. 24a minus 2a, 22a. 8b plus a b is a positive 9b. There you go. Plugging away, almost done. Negatives, parentheses, all kinds of fun stuff. 4 times 2, I still don't like that pen. 4 times 2, 8d, bring down the minus. 4 times e, 4e. Now remember, this could be a negative 1 right here. Negative 1 times d, negative 1d. This is a negative. Negative 1 times a negative 4. A negative times a negative is a positive 4e. 8d minus a d, 7d. Negative 4e plus a 4e, those cancel out, so the final simplified expression is 7d. What was that, Corinne? Please don't tell me it was popcorn.
It wasn't.
What was it?
Pills.
What?
I was trying to get the pills.
What?
It
Like-
was acetaminophen.
Acetaminophen?
Yeah.
Aspirin? Okay.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Didn't matter. Okay.
Okay, here we go. How many terms here? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 terms. 4 pieces of this. Coefficients are numbers that are with variables. So that would be a 9, a 4, and a 6. Variables, I see a C, those are the letters, A, and that's it, just C and A. I mean, because I'm not going to write C down twice. The operations, plus, minus, minus, so I'm just going to write plus and minus. The constants are the numbers that, the values that are just by themselves without a coefficient. That would be a 2. Can this be simplified? Yes, because I could put this C and this C together. Yes. So can I simplify it? All right, I'm going to write it underneath here. 9C plus 4A minus 6C minus 2. 9C can go minus 6C is 3C plus 4A can be combined minus 2. But is that in standard form? No, because it has to be in alphabetical order. So 4A plus 3C minus 2. That's the final simplified standard form expression. All right, so done with that. So hopefully you are getting a little bit more of the hang of this. Double check things with your calculator when you're done. Make sure they're right. I don't even know if mine are right, but I hope that they are pretty close. I know I'm following the right steps. All right, good luck. Thanks. Bye.